My name is Colette Sinclair, and I'm 35 years old. After 7 years of no contact, I walked back into my parents' house like a ghost they had learned to live without. The dining room looked exactly the same. Polished wood table, soft golden lighting, expensive plates laid out like nothing had ever been broken here. But everything had been broken. I could feel it in the air, thick and quiet beneath the clinking of glasses. My sister was already there, sitting confidently, laughing too loudly, like she owned the room. She didn't even look surprised to see me, just amused. Like I was the evening's entertainment. Dinner started politely enough, the kind of fake warmth that barely covers old wounds. But it didn't take long. My sister mocked me at dinner, and everyone laughed. It was subtle at first, little comments about how I disappeared, how I couldn't handle pressure, how I always thought I was better than everyone. The table erupted in soft chuckles, my parents smiling like it was harmless teasing. I stayed quiet, letting it pass over me like background noise. I had learned patience the hard way. Then it got sharper. She leaned back in her chair, swirling her wine, eyes locked on me like she'd been waiting years for this moment. "Still doing those little projects of yours?" she said, her tone dripping with mock curiosity. "Or are you finally doing something real?" Again, laughter. Louder this time. Even my father smirked. Parents told me to stop making the family look bad. My mother's voice cut through the noise, soft but firm. "Colette, don't start anything tonight. We're trying to have a nice dinner." I hadn't said a word, not one. But somehow I was still the problem. I let them mock me, quietly folding my hands in my lap, watching them carefully. Every word, every glance, every careless laugh, it all mattered. Because I hadn't come here to defend myself. I came here for something else. My sister kept going, growing bolder with every reaction she got. "You know," she added, leaning forward now, "some of us actually worked hard to build something. Not just run away and pretend we're successful." She smiled, proud of herself, soaking in the approval around the table. I let them mock me until my sister mentioned her job. That's when everything shifted. She started talking about her company, how well it was doing, how important her role had become. "My boss trusts me with everything now," she said, almost bragging. "I practically run operations at this point." She laughed lightly, clearly impressed with herself. "You wouldn't understand that level of responsibility." I felt a slow, quiet smile form on my lips. Because I understood exactly what she was talking about. I had listened long enough, watched enough. Let them build their little moment at my expense. But now it was time. I reached into my bag, calm, steady, deliberate. No rush, no anger. Just precision. I pulled out one thing and placed it gently on the table. At first, no one reacted. They were too busy finishing their laughter, too caught up in their own narrative. But then my sister's eyes dropped to the document in front of her. And everything changed. Her smile froze. Her fingers twitched slightly as she reached for it. Confusion flickering across her face. "What is this?" she asked, her voice no longer confident. I didn't answer immediately. I let the silence stretch, heavy and uncomfortable. Watched their smiles fade. Her voice trembled slightly as she picked up the document. And for the first time that night, the room went completely silent. I didn't rush to explain. I let her read. Line by line, word by word. The confidence she walked in with started slipping away with every second. Her eyes scanned faster, then slowed, then stopped completely. "No, this doesn't make sense," she whispered more to herself than anyone else. My father leaned forward, irritated. "What is it now?" he snapped. She didn't answer him. She just kept staring at the paper like it had betrayed her. I finally spoke, calm and steady. "It's the ownership report," I said. "The company you work for? The one you practically run? It belongs to me." For a moment, no one reacted. It was like the words didn't register. Then my mother let out a small, disbelieving laugh. "Colette, enough," she said. "Don't make a scene." I tilted my head slightly. "I'm not making a scene," I replied. "I'm correcting one." My sister looked up at me then, her face pale, her confidence completely gone. "You're lying," she said quickly, but there was no strength behind it. I didn't argue. I simply slid another document across the table, official registration, signatures, dates, everything she needed to see, everything they all needed to see. My father grabbed it this time, his expression hardening as he read. The silence grew heavier, suffocating almost. My sister's breathing became uneven. That's not possible, she stammered. I've been there for 3 years. I would know. I finally leaned forward, meeting her eyes. You were hired 2 months after I acquired it, I said quietly. You were recommended through a third-party recruiter. I approved the final list myself. The realization hit her like a wave. I could see it, every moment she had bragged. Every time she thought she was superior, it all came crashing down at once. Her lips parted, but no words came out. My mother looked between us, confused and unsettled. Why didn't you ever say anything? She asked me, her voice softer now. I gave a small shrug. Because no one asked, I said. And because it wouldn't have mattered. You had already decided who I was. My father set the paper down slowly, his earlier arrogance gone. So all this time? He muttered. Yes, I cut in gently. All this time. My sister shook her head almost desperately. But I've been handling major operations. I've been praised. You've been doing your job, I interrupted, not unkindly. And you've been doing it? Well, that's why you're still there. That seemed to hit her even harder. Not anger, not revenge. Just truth. Raw and undeniable. She looked at me like she was seeing me for the first time. Not as the sister she mocked. Not as the one who ran away, but as someone she had completely underestimated. The room felt different now, smaller, quieter. My mother's eyes softened. But there was something else there too. Regret, maybe. We thought you... she began, but couldn't finish. I know what you thought, I said calmly. You made that clear tonight. No one argued with that, because they couldn't. I stood up slowly, smoothing my dress, completely composed. I didn't come here to embarrass anyone, I added. You did that yourselves. My sister lowered her gaze, gripping the edge of the table like it was the only thing holding her steady. My father didn't say a word. For the first time in my life, he had nothing to say. I picked up my bag, pausing just for a second as I looked at them all, really looked at them. 7 years ago, I had left this house feeling small, dismissed, invisible. Tonight I walked in quietly and walked out undeniable. As I turned toward the door, I heard my sister's voice again, but it was barely above a whisper. Why didn't you tell me? She asked. I stopped but didn't turn around. Because you never listened, I replied simply, and then I left. And just like that, the narrative they had built about me collapsed in a single evening. No shouting, no drama, just truth placed gently on a table. And watched their smiles fade. If this story made you feel something, if you enjoy powerful, revenge stories where silence speaks louder than words, make sure to subscribe to the channel Core Revenge. Tales for more unforgettable stories like this.